glad to be home, Paul. Come sit down at the table and I'll fetch you a cup of coffee.
Now, Ellie, don't go spoiling him straight off. We fought hard for that women's lib.
And what?
Is you and Jethro gonna treat us as equals now?
I'm gonna do better than that. You and Ellie sit down at the table, and I'm gonna serve you breakfast. How about that?
Oh, no, Paul.
Don't say no, Ellie. Let's give it a try.
But I don't want Pa waiting on me.
Oh, I don't say every meal. But a little turnabout is fair play, as the saying goes.
She's right, Ellie. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Come on.
It's kind of fun to be waited on for a change.
Of course it is.
And it shows that the men folks has learnt their lesson.
You bet we have.
Morning, Uncle Jet.
Morning.
What are you doing?
I'm serving breakfast to our women folks. I'd like you to help me.
Are you out of your gourd? Didn't you learn nothing from them Japanese girls? You and me is glorious, sublime beings. These is just two female nothings.
Jethro, we has promised to give up all that kind of thinking.
That's a rap. That's a real rap.
Boy, I think you better come on outside.
I'll take him to the woodshed and beat the sublimeness out of him.
Granny, sit down.
Hey, if that little coolie lays one finger on my radiance, I'll have her tied to a kabuki and dragged right on through the Zen.
Jethro, come on outside. It'll be good for your headache.
Headache? I ain't got no headache.
Just keep messing with Granny.
Paragraph 6. Each girl's salary shall be linked to the cost of living index.
I'm through. I'll have to close the bank.
Paragraph 7. No girl shall receive less than the federal minimum hourly wage.
That does it. I'm wiped out.
Paragraph 8.
Don't bother to read anymore. I'm not going to sign that contract.
You signed it yesterday.
I did?
In the presence of 12 witnesses.
Well, I'll take you to court and break it.
Well, you may certainly try, but let me read you paragraph 8. Paragraph 8. In case of litigation, all legal costs will be paid by Mr. Drysdale.
Let's hear paragraph 9.
Paragraph 9. Mr. Drysdale will pay for repairs to Helen Thompson's automobile.
That's ridiculous. That's extortion. Pay your own garage bills.
But you were the one that demolished my car.
I never touched it.
You ordered your bodyguard, that karate expert, to demolish it.
Me?
She's right, Chief. I remember vividly we were staging a peaceful demonstration in front of the bank.
My car! He demolished it!
Okay, so he dented your car.
Dented it?
Here's a couple of bucks. Have it fixed.
Chief, Helen's car was broken in two by that monster.
It was probably ready to fall apart anyway. Come in. Bonsai, am I glad to see you. These two bullies are trying to force me to honor an illegal contract. Take it away from them.
Don't get violent. Here.
Come on, Miss Hathaway, quickly.
You'll regret this, Chief.
Nice work, Bonsai. Now let's have the contract.
As soon as we settle business.
What business?
Please to sit down and we talk.
I don't have time to talk. I'm a busy man.
Please, very important we talk.
I told you I'm too busy.
Please.
Let's talk. What can I do for you, Bonsai?
You can fly 3 new girls from Japan for my household.
Well, you already have 3 girls. There's Miko and the other 2. They're wonderful.
No longer wonderful. Spoiled by woman's lib. Miko already leave.
Well, it's not my fault.
I think so. You hire Banzai to frighten your woman. Banzai bring his woman. They learn from your woman. Your fault. You pay for new woman.
Now, look, if anybody's going to do any paying around here, it's you.
Me? What for?
Well, you broke my coffee table. That's number 1. You broke Helen's car. That's number 2. You broke the Clampetts bench. That's number 3.
You like to be number 4?
Now, look, don't try to intimidate me. I'm not flying 3 girls from Japan, and that is that.
Perhaps if there were enough of us, we could overpower Bonsai and take our contract away from him.
Miss Hathaway, make arrangements to fly 3 girls from Japan right away.
All right, all you untouchables, out of the kitchen. My exalted radiance is going to have breakfast.
You gonna cook your own victuals?
Are you kidding? I got my own personal cook and servant. Hey, Miko, chop, chop.
Miko is here?
Well, yeah, I was sitting out front. She come up and said she done left Bonsai. Could she come back here?
Why would she want to do that?
Why else? Like they says in Japan, she rubs me.
Oh, Jethro, you ready to behave yourself?
I'll tell you what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to take Miko and run away from home. Can I have my 50 cents allowance in advance?
You won't need it, boy. Miko might run from you, but not with you.
Are you kidding? That little Japanese cherry blossom is head over heels crazy mad for me. Like I said before, she rubs me.
I got news for you. She don't even like you.
But yet, I'm gonna have to hear that from her own Ruby Rips.
Might be a good idea.
Now, Miko, don't you worry. Ellie and me had trouble with our men folks, too, but they come around. And so will Bonsai.
I hope Granny-san is right. Bonsai is very unhappy with Miko.
Well, you just stay here until he changes his tune.
Thank you so very much.
Is Jethro ready to behave himself?
He says he's ready to run away from home.
That's even better. I'll go pack his bag.
Watch it, lowly Occidental female. You was mean-mouthing the radiant light of the Orient.
Jethro.
You watch it too, Round Eyes.
Jed, shall we take him to the woodshed and fan his radiant britches?
Please, please. Miko caused too much trouble between Jethro-san and honorable family. I am sorry. I will go.
Oh, sit down, Miko. You didn't cause no trouble. He's always like that.
Miss Miko, you Yamaha with Jethro-san, and we will ride for luxury.
On 50 cents a week?
Will you please leave me and my Japanese sweetheart alone?
Jethro-san, I am not your Japanese sweetheart.
Are you telling me you ain't Japanese?
I am Japanese, but not your sweetheart.
Is that plain enough, stupid sand?
Greetings, Ellie.
Howdy, Miss Jane. Say hello to Oscar.
Hi there, little fella. Ellie Mae, we girls at the bank need Granny's help.
What's the trouble?
Well, Bonsai has seized our contract and won't give it back to us.
Oh, Granny'll make you do it. She'll whomp him again.
That's what I wanted to check with you. Granny did vanquish Bonsai, didn't she?
Yeah, he got her mad. There used to be another iron bench just like this one right yonder. Well, that rascal hauled off and hit it with his bare hand and just busted it all to pieces.
What a terrible thing to do.
That's what Granny said. Then she lit into him and turned him every way but loose.
Who are you talking about, Ellie?
Oh, Bonsai.
Is that the goomer that busted our bench?
And you vanquished him, Granny.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I whooped the tar out of him.
Well, now he's taken our contract away from us. Would you make him give it back?
Of course I will. Where is he?
At the bank?
Let's go.
Hey, where are you all going?
To the bank?
Hey, can I catch a lift?
Certainly, hop in. Where are you going?
Don't ask him, just let him go.
Good luck.
Whose car is this, Miss Jane?
It's Helen's. Bonsai broke it just the way he did your bench.
Where is that junk maker?
In Mr. Drysdale's office.
I'll learn him to go around busting up people's furniture and automobiles.
Atta girl, Granny.
Thanks for the lift, Miss Jane.
Jethro? Where are you going?
I'm running away from home.
Running away from home? Why?
That family of weed benders I've been living with won't let me live the kind of life I'm entitled to.
And just what kind of life is that?
One of sublime happiness as a member of the magnificent, exalted Oriental nobility.
And, just where do you plan to find that kind of life? Your exalted magnificence.
Well, I thought I'd try the YMCA.
I don't know how sublime that will be.
Well, I can't be too choosy when my allowance is only 50 cents a week.
Jethro, take my advice and go back home.
To them rubes and hay shakers? Never.
Well, it's better than starving.
I'll get along. I got all the necessities of life right here.
Such as?
4 ham hocks, a side of fat back, 2 pot roast, and a turkey.
Jethro, how long do you think that will last?
Well, it'll take me through the rest of the day.
I done told you for the last time, Mr. Bonsai.
Oh!
Now, are you ready to do as I say?
Oh, yes, honorable grandson.
Now, you get down front and give Miss Jane her contract.
With great haste.
And while you're down there, you fix Miss Helen's car that you busted.
Oh, so sorry, but Banzai not mechanic.
Are you gonna give me some more of your sass?
Oh, no. Banzai become instant mechanic.
Thank you, Granny.
Oh, you're welcome, honey. All it takes to handle men is a little feminine charm.
Are they gone?
Yes.
I forgot that Granny can handle Banzai. Cancel the plane reservations for those Japanese girls.
But, Mr. Drysdale, you gave your word. That's despicable.
Well, it's also economical. I save $1,000.
And so you see, dear boy, there is absolutely no chance of living a life of oriental luxury at the YMCA, especially on 50 cents a week.
Then I reckon I'll just have to go back home.
A very wise decision, Jethro.
Miss Hathaway, I have the pleasure to return your contract.
Well, thank you, Banzai. You know Jethro, Sam?
Oh, yes.
We's both sublime male beings.
Banzai not feel too sublime right now, but will feel better when new girls arrive from Japan.
Are you getting a new batch?
That's correct. I made plane reservations for them myself.
Hot dog. Hey, remember, Banzai, we's buddies. You and me, share and share alike.
Did you get your contract back, Miss Jane?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Granny.
Now, you get busy and fix Miss Helen's car.
Oh, yes. Right away.
And you have him.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Sure will. Banzai and me is buddies.
Granny, you'll be happy to know that I talked Jethro out of running away from home.
After the nice thing that I done for you?
You wanted him to run away?
Well, just long enough to get him over his oriental sublime nonsense.
Oh, I am so sorry, but where could he go on his allowance?
Oh, yeah, that's, how about your apartment?
Oh, Granny.
Well, you can come and stay with us.
Well, that's a marvelous idea. I'll suggest it. Jethro, how would you like to take over my apartment?
You mean it?
Here are the keys. I'm going to move in with the Rubes and hay shakers.
Oh, boy, thank you, Miss Jane.
You're welcome. Come on, Granny.
Hey, Banzai, did you hear that? I'm gonna have my own swinging bachelor pad.
Very nice.
Hey, you come on in with me. I'll throw my whole allowance into the deal. You furnish the girls, I'll furnish the money. How about it?
Your uncle have $95 million, correct?
Oh, more than that. How about it? Share and share alike.
This deal. Partner, son.
Come on, partner. Let's fix the car and we'll have our own bachelor wheels.
Granny, I can't thank you enough.
Glad to do it. Look what's coming.
So long. See you later.
Do you think you fetched along enough clothes, Miss Jane?
Oh, yes. It won't take Jethro long to get homesick. Living in my apartment can be very austere. No cooking, no noise, no television.
Jethro's gonna miss television. He's been watching Sesame Street quite regular.
Really?
He's learned pretty near the whole alphabet.
Well, which room should I take, Granny?
Oh, take your pick. There's a flock of empties up there.
Thank you.
Jed, are you home?
In the parlor, Granny.
What's going on in here?
Just having a little tea, Granny.
You got 2 Japanese girls now. Listen.
It's me, Granny, Ellie Mason.
Ellie Mae, what do you think you're doing?
Well, I asked Miss Nico to learn me how Japanese girls does such a fine job of making men happy.
Get up from there, you traitor.
Now, take it easy, Granny. I figure it wouldn't hurt Ellie none to learn a few secrets from other countries.
I like it, Granny. It's fun.
Once again, Miko displeased Granny-san. So sorry.
Oh, I ain't faulting you, honey. It's just that I hate to see men folks get spoiled so rotten.
Oh, I ain't spoiled, Granny.
Besides, Granny, like you said, turnabout is fair play. I figured you and Ellie could learn Miss Miko a few things.
I would be honored to learn from Granny-san and beautiful granddaughter.
Well, I guess there is a couple of secrets we could slip you. You ever cook hog jowls and turnips?
No?
Fat back and grits?
No?
Well, how about pig's feet and dandelion greens?
No.
This poor child ain't never had a decent meal.
See, Granny? There's lots of things Miss Miko can learn from you.
You too, Ellie. Ain't nobody can handle critters like this girl.
Critters?
That's animals.
Oh.
You're right, Jed. There's a lot of things this little girl don't know. I'll even learn her to brew up a good old-fashioned...
Hold it, Granny. You ain't gonna learn her to brew that.
What's wrong with sassafras tea?
Oh, I thought you was gonna say white lightning.
I'll learn her that, too.
What is white lightning?
Well, it's like sake, only with more sock.
I like to learn American things.
Granny, where are you?
In here, Miss Jane.
Oh, Granny, I just phoned my apartment. What a lovely picture. Who are these beautiful girls?
I am Miko.
Oh, Miko, of course. And who is this exquisite child?
Is she pretty? This here is...
Don't tell her, Pa Sam. Let's see can she guess.
Ellie Mae, what a transformation. You look like a geisha.
Oh, shucks. I was trying to look Japanese.
Well, indeed you do.
What was you saying about phoning your apartment?
Oh, yes. Jethro has moved in.
Well, how do you like our swinging bachelor pad, huh?
This whole thing?
Yep, it's all ours.
There's not room in here to swing one bachelor. Where we sleep?
Don't you worry about that. This right here makes into one bed. There's another one over yonder. Watch this. What the? This is a good one, too. You can take your choice.
Jedro-san, you have money, right?
Sure. My whole allowance. Why?
Just get bad news. Drysdale not pay to fly girls from Japan. You pay?
Heck yeah. How much will it cost?
$1,000.
Okay, I'll cipher out how long it'll take to get them here. Let's see now. $1,000. That's one, comma, not, dot, not. Now, we throw 50 cents into that. 50 into 100 goes twice. 50 cents into naught is naught.
Why you keep saying 50 cents?
Well, that's how much I get every week. But that's my allowance. And 50 cents into them naughts is naught. It's going to be around 2,000 weeks before we have enough money to throw in.
Hey, Mr. Banzai-san. How are you?
Oh, I'm afraid this is not Banzai's day. As Jedro-san would say, everything get roused up.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Anything I can do?
You can persuade Miko to return to House of Banzai.
Well, before I do that, you got to promise that you go along with what the women folks call equal rights.
I promise anything to get Miko back. She is beautiful cherry blossom on the tree of my life. She is lovely butterfly in the garden of my heart. My house is sad without Miko. Forget Miko. Who this?
Pretty little thing, ain't she?
あなたは私の命の美しい桜でございます。あなたは私の心の綺麗な蝶々さんでございます。
What's all all that he spouted to me, Pa Sam?
All right, I know, Ellie Mae Sand.
This girl, Ellie Mae?
That's right, she's my daughter.
Oh, so sorry. Once again, Miko become light of my life. Where is she, please?
Well, I think she's out in the kitchen with Granny Sand.
She's upstairs now, Pa Sam. Hey, Miko, somebody to see you.
Very cunning.
Pa built it for my critters. I'm learning them how to use it.
You have the most amazing talent for handling animals, Ellie Mae. Let's sit down. I want to talk to you about a job.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, Miss Jane. It's lots of fun, but it ain't much money.
Oh, no. I'm talking about a job at the bank.
You got critters that need handling?
Only one. The beast of Beverly Hills, Mr. Drysdale. In spite of the fact that we have a written contract, he continues to mistreat the girls at the bank.
Miss Jane, you want me to whoop him for you?
Well, I don't think that'll be necessary. Your very presence among us will ensure proper treatment for all.
Morning, Miss Jane.
Morning, Mr. Clampett.
Guess what, Pa? Miss Jane offered me a job down to the bank.
Doing what?
Well, I don't know.
Well, actually, she'll work as a secretary.
You know how to typewrite and such, Ellie?
Well, no, sir.
Well, we will give her on-the-job training, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, good morning, Miss Jane.
Morning, Granny.
Should I put on a dress, Miss Jane?
Oh, I think so, Ellie.
I'm going to work in an office down to the bank.
Good.
Trouble is, Ellie ain't had no experience as a secretary.
Oh, I can learn her everything that she needs to know in 5 minutes.
You, Granny?
Sir, there's only 3 things. Eye rolling, wiggle walking, and lap setting.
What's that got to do with being a secretary?
Jed, didn't you ever see Theda Barra in Office Wife?
I don't recollect I did.
Well, Theda wound up marrying her boss. And for 4 reels, she never touched a typewriter.
Granny, it appears you see this job mainly as a way for Ellie to meet fellas.
How do you see it?
Same way.
Well, I'll be back to pick her up on my lunch hour.
Don't call to do that, Miss Jane. Jethro can fetch you down to the bank.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll get her to look like a secretary.
Wonderful. Bye.
I wonder how Mr. Clampett feels about his only daughter becoming a working girl.
Oh, he's all in favor of it. So's Granny. They see it as an opportunity for Ellie to attract a man.
I hope she attracts 2.
I think 3 would be nice.
Gee, I hope she doesn't wear those blue jeans.
Well, there's no danger of that. Granny has promised, in her own words, to fix her up to look like a secretary. Well,
Good.
Miss Jane?
in here, Ellie.
Howdy, y'all.
Is that you, Ellie?
Sure is.
Where did you get that outfit?
Aunt Pearl left a whole trunk full of clothes like this at our house.
It's right out of the 20s.
Yes, she's a complete anachronism.
How do y'all like that?
What was it?
Wiggle walking.
Did Granny teach you that?
Yes, ma'am. And eye rolling and lap setting.
What?
Granny considers those the 3 fundamentals of secretarial training.
What's going on in here? Who's this floozy?
Chief, this girl is not a floozy.
Well, please tell me what she is.
She is the new girl for the secretarial pool.
Dressed like that? Are you out of your mind? Get this nut out of here. She's stoned.
Chief, I beseech you, be careful what you say to this young lady.
Young lady, she looks like a reject from a Rudolph Valentino movie. And a bad one.
Mr. Drysdale, you're going to regret speaking in this manner.
Are you going to throw her out or am I?
Oh, no, Chief, I think...
Okay, that's it. Out, out, out. And stay out.
All right, but Granny ain't gonna like what you said, and Pa ain't gonna like what you done.
Big deal. I've heard that voice before.
You certainly have.
That wasn't...
It certainly was.
Oh, no! Ellie, darling, don't be mad at Uncle Milby. I was just having a little fun. I knew who you were all the time.
Well, that makes it all the worse. Pa's gonna really be mad at you now.
Oh, no, please. Miss Hathaway, see that this girl gets a raise immediately.
But, Chief, she hasn't even started to work yet.
That's immaterial. I also want her to have a bonus and a shorter working hour.
How about the rest of us?
Forget it.
Well, Mr. Drysdale, if I get a raise and a bonus and shorter working hours, all the other girls has got to get them, too.
Thank you, Ellie.
You're going to get yours, Hathaway.
What did you say I was going to get, Chief?
Your raise.
Oh, thank you, Chief.
How about me?
You're going to get yours, too.
What about all the other girls?
Oh, all right, a blanket raise for everyone.
Jolly good. I'll go give them the news.
Marvelous.
Mr. Drysdale, you're a nice man after all.
Well, be sure you tell your father that when you go home to change out of that ludicrous dress.
Granny chose that dress for her.
Now, you tell Granny that she has excellent taste with this dress. It's too beautiful to be wearing around a dirty old bank.
Yes, sir.
All right, Hathaway, put him up. Defend yourself.
Ellie Mae!
Yes, sir, Miss Jane?
Ellie Mae, wouldn't you like me to drive you home?
Well, it's a long way to Wigglewalk.
See you later, Chief.
Bet your life you will. I'll be waiting for you.
Ellie Mae, from now on, you and I will be inseparable. Bye.
Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy, Pa.
Ellie Mae,
Yes, sir.
look at you got shit up like that.
Granny, but Mr. Drysdale wants me to change.
Good, good. Oh, sit down, Miss Jane.
Thank you, Mr. Clampetts.
I'm sorry she showed up at the bank looking like that.
All's well that ends well.
I sure hope she meets some fellas now that she's a working girl.
So do I, but I'm afraid this mansion somewhat destroys the image of a working girl.
What you mean?
Any man who courts Ellie Mae Clampett is certain to be called a fortune hunter, after her for her money. It's something I've been meaning to mention for some time, but frankly, I don't have a solution.
Granny and Ellie seemed right took with that apartment of yours. You reckon there's another one in the same building?
Well, I'm afraid there are no vacancies now, but if you like, she can move in with me until one comes up.
Wait till you see Ellie. I've changed her from head to toe.
Oh, thank you, Granny. How did you change her?
I toned her down. Now she's a cross betwixt Lillian Gish and Bessie Love.
This is Miss Hathaway's apartment.
Okay, open it.
Mr. Drysdale, it's highly irregular entering a tenant's apartment in their absence.
Look, Fitty, I told you I've taken over the mortgage on this building. Now, shall we discuss your delinquent payments? I'll open it.
Why the interest in this particular apartment?
Miss Hathaway is my secretary.
Oh, I understand. Well, I'll get busy immediately. Repaint, repaper, new carpeting. I'll have it completely redecorated.
You do that, and I'll foreclose your mortgage.
What?
Do you have any bed bugs or cockroaches in this apartment?
No, sir.
I'll bring some in.
What was that?
What about rats or mice? You got any of those?
No, not one.
Well, get some.
Mr. Drysdale, I don't think I understand.
How much is the rent of this crummy apartment?
Only $65 a month.
I'll double it.
What?
Triple it.
You want me to raise the rent on your secretary's apartment?
You bet. Where's the bedroom? Where does she sleep?
Well, the bed's here in the wall. You see, it pulls down like this.
Yeah, well, just nail it shut. Yeah, pretty nice bathroom.
Thank you.
Louse it up.
Louse it up?
Yes, break the towel, stop up the plumbing, think of something. Be creative. Ooh, very nice drapes. Cushions to match.
Miss Hathaway made those all herself.
Really?
Mr. Drysdale, that's one destruction of personal property. Those furnishings all belong to Miss Hathaway.
This hers?
Yes, sir. What are you doing?
Having revenge.
Revenge on what?
She put me over a barrel at the office. I'm putting her over the barrel right here.
Oh, I don't like it. Miss Hathaway's a very nice tenant.
Are you a nice landlord?
I try to be.
Well, stop trying. From now on, you're going to be the #1 rat pink.
Looks like I'm going to have to settle for #2.
I'm going to ignore that, but I'll never forget it. Now, I want Miss Hathaway harassed night and day. I want her life made miserable for her. I want this apartment under constant siege.
Mr. Drysdale, did you serve in World War II?
Yes, I did.
Which side?
These snide remarks of yours are going into the file. And when your mortgage is due, look out.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just that I've always considered myself a hard-hearted landlord. I've been called some pretty mean names in my time, but next to you, I'm a pussycat.
Well, keep your claws out, pussycat. The next time I see Miss Hathaway, she better have scratch marks.
Well, here we are.
Well, looks like you got yourself a cozy little place here, Miss Jane.
Well, I'm sorry it's not larger.
Well, as long as it's comfortable.
Got dandy beds, Paul.
Well, show me to the bedroom and I'll put your things there.
Well, this is it, Mr. Clampett. This sofa makes into a bed, and then there's another bed over here that folds down out of the wall. Seems to be stuck.
Well, maybe I can unstick it for you. This thing has been nailed shut, Miss Jane.
Nailed shut? Who could have done that?
I don't know. Well, I'll see if I can pry it loose.
Looky here, Miss Jane. Somebody's done busted your pretty vase.
What in the world has been going on here? And my window seat cushion's missing. What? It's down in the alley.
Miss Jane, feels like somebody's been in here making mischief.
Vandals. Well, I'm going to go down the alley and get my window cushion before it disappears.
Want me to fetch it?
No, thanks, Ellie. You unpack and hang your things in the bathroom.
You hang your things in the bathroom, Ellie?
Oh, yes, sir, Paul. Miss Jane ain't got no closet. Oh, my goodness.
Something wrong?
Yes, sir. The sink's all stopped up, the faucet's dripping, and there's water all over the floor.
Ellie? Appears like this ain't quite the place you and Granny bragged it up to be.
Well, I think I can sop up most of the water.
What are you doing here?
Just tidying up.
Now, well, beat it, Shorty.
The name is Jen.
Excuse my rudeness, but you see, you look like a vagrant.
No, sir, I'm a Clampett.
Glad to meet you.
Oh, here, Miss Jane. Let me give you a hand.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Miss Hathaway, what's going on in here?
somebody threw my seat cushion out the window, and I had to get down the alley and get it.
You know that's not what I mean. Now, whose suitcase is that? Is somebody moving in here with you?
Mr. Finney, I had planned to tell you about it. I'm going to have a roommate.
Oh, no, none of that. Out he goes.
Mr. Finney, my roommate is Ellie Clampett.
Told me his name was Jed.
Ellie Mae, are you in there?
Yes, Miss Jane, be right out. I sopped up as much as I could, but it's still a mite damp.
Mr. Finney, this young lady is going to be my roommate.
All right, your rent's doubled.
Doubled? Oh, well, that hardly seems fair.
All right, it's triple. How do you like that?
Well, I don't. Almost $200 a month for this little room is exorbitant.
That's all right, Miss Jane. I'll pay it.
You? You look like a pauper.
No, sir. I told you I was a Clampett.
You ask me, you're a bum.
Well, you ain't exactly the pleasantest man I ever met.
Big deal. Get lost.
Now, wait.
Mr. Clampett, please don't let my irascible landlord upset you. I can handle him.
You sure?
I've been doing it for years. His bark is worse than his bite.
Yeah, he's got a right surly bark.
Well, don't worry. Ellie and I will be just fine.
Well, let me know if you have any trouble.
We will. And thank you very much.
Bye. Bye, Ellie.
Bye, Paul.
Bye, Mr. Landlord.
Hit the road, Rube.
Mr. Pay no attention to my landlord. He probably got up on the wrong side of the bed.
You mean mouse me again, I'll put him back to bed.
Well...
I'm moving in here because we's going to work together.
With Mr. Drysdale at the bank?
Yes, sir. I'm going to be his secretary, just like Miss Jane.
Well, it makes my job a lot easier. Is that your suitcase?
Yes, sir. But you don't have to tote it for me.
My pleasure.
Well, you two getting acquainted?
Miss Jane, he throwed my suitcase out the window.
Mr. Finney, you're terrible.
Mr. Finney, you are beautiful. You shut off the heat? The water? Hid the blankets? Finney, you are my kind of landlord. Now keep up the good work and I'll cut your interest rates. Bye. I'll teach her to fool around with Milburn Drysdale.
Jethro, how quick can you drive me over to Miss Jane's apartment?
Well, I'm just about to commence lunch. I'll drive you over quick as I'm through eating.
Well, I'd like to get there before dark.
Something wrong over to Miss Jane's, Jed?
Yeah, Granny, things ain't as shipshape as you remember 'em. There's a few little repair jobs to be done.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm sniffing your spoon. He's cooking my favorite thing.
What's that?
Food.
Granny, I'm kind of in a hurry to get over there.
I got an idea. Let's take the stew along and feed Miss Jane and Ellie, too.
Good thinking.
My goodness, what's on fire?
It smells like feathers. Nutsy here is trying to burn mattress stuffing.
Mr. Clampett, if you'll remove the pot, I'll put the brasher in the bathtub and extinguish the flame.
We'll clear out. Let's have our stew.
Oh, well, we got some bread and stuff and some cold drinks. We got grape and orange, lime, strawberry.
Oh, I am sorry. I don't have enough glasses. Does anybody mind drinking out of the bottle?
Shucks, no.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Finney. You got any glasses? We all having a drink out of the bottle in there.
What's going on in there?
Oh, we just having a little stew party. They'd invite you in if you wasn't such unpleasant company.
What's all the smoke in there?
It's just a mattress burning.
You're an arsonist.
No, sir. Like I told you before, I'm a Clampett.
I'm going to call the police.
Well, don't call too many of them. We hardly got enough to go around as it is.
Do you mean it? Are you serious? You got Miss Hathaway thrown into jail?
That's right. They carted her off to the pokey not half an hour ago.
Oh, Finney, you're a genius. Why, you're even rottener than I am.
Mr. Drysdale, coming from you, that's a real compliment.
Miss Thompson, on the double.
Yes, sir?
Oh, get Mr. Finney's mortgage out of the file. I'm going to cut his interest payments in half.
Right away, sir.
Oh, and bring in that decanter of 100-year-old brandy you girls gave me for my birthday.
Yes, sir. We gave you a bottle of 100-year-old brandy?
Yes. Oh, I don't suppose the deductions have shown up in your paychecks yet. But thanks anyway. Oh, Finney, sit down. Have a cigar.
Hey. Hey. That's a beauty. Where'd you get these?
Foreclosed in a cigar factory.
Here you are, sir, and a belated happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, Helen.
I'll bring Mr. Finney's mortgage in straight off.
Yes, we'll just cut the interest in half and I'll sign it.
Yes, sir.
Well, Finney, here's our little jailbird. Tell me, how did you frame her?
Well, I didn't have to. Her roommate got her into trouble.
Ah, I didn't know she had one.
Yeah, she just moved in today. Police took her away, too.
Good.
Very pretty blonde girl. Works for you, one of your secretaries.
Ready? Let's see. Well, it couldn't be Helen.
No, sounded like that. Ellen, Nellie. Ellie, that's it.
Ellie?
Yeah, father's a big, tall hick with a mustache named Clampetts. Police took the whole family away. Granny, big, stupid-looking nephew.
Here's Mr. Finney's mortgage. I cut the interest in half.
Well, take it back and double it.
Double it?
Then triple it.
Triple it?
Then foreclose it.
What's going on here?
I hope you have enough money to cover their bills. It was all just a terrible misunderstanding. You've been completely exonerated.
Well, we was at first, but we's cooled off now.
Well, you'll be happy to know that a complete confession has been signed by the janitor of this building.
I don't believe we've met him.
Janitor, on the double.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Finney.
Is that bathroom spotless?
Yes, sir.
Well, come back later and clean the rest of the apartment.
Yes, sir.
I know, Finney. See that we're not disturbed. We're going to have a stew party.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what a stew party is, Finney?
Yes, sir. I do now.
Somebody's passed on.
I think we gotta open it.
Please don't, Jed. There's been a death in the family. I just know it.
Now you're jumping to conclusions.
You mark my words. It won't be long until old Duke will commence howling. And you know what that means.
Any howling around here will be done when Jethro comes down and finds out his breakfast ain't ready.
How can he think about food at a time like this, when there's a death in the family?
The telegram don't have to mean that. Now I'm going to open it.
I ain't gonna listen.
Well, doggies. It's from Llewellyn Aiden in Monroe, Louisiana.
Why, that's that little girl that Jethro used to tote her books back home.
I thought you wasn't going to listen.
Can I help it if I got ears like a hawk?
Well, anyway, Llewellyn says she is coming to California. In fact, she's flying in this morning.
What for?
Well, she says she's finally going to take the big step, and she can't wait to see Jethro.
I wonder what she means by the big step.
Dogs, if I know.
Morning, everybody. Where's Riddle?
I'll commence fixing breakfast right away.
Thank you, Granny.
Jethro, you recollect a little girl back home named Llewellyn Aiden?
Llewellyn Aiden.
Yeah, she moved down to Louisiana about the time we come out here to California.
Llewellyn Aiden.
You used to tote her books to school.
Oh, yeah. I used to call her Cupcake.
Cupcake?
Sweetest thing I ever put my lips to.
Llewellyn was, huh?
No, the cupcake she used to tote to school in her lunchbox. Quick as I was done eating my lunch, she'd give me what was left of hers.
She liked you, huh?
Yeah. I was crazy about her, too. First time I ever really fell in love.
With Llewellyn?
No, with her cupcakes. They was molasses cupcakes with marshmallow icing.
Well, how did you feel about Llewellyn?
I liked her fine. Why?
Well, in her telegram here, she says she is coming to California this morning. She can't wait to see you. And she is finally going to take the big step.
I wonder what she means by that.
That's what your granny and me was trying to figure out. You ever proposed to her?
You mean marriage?
Yeah, did you ever ask her to marry you?
Oh, gosh. I remember. I'd give her a ring.
Engagement ring?
Well, I don't know. We was walking home from school, and I seen this here horseshoe nail lying on the road. So I picked it up with my toes.
Showing off, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyways, I bent it into a ring, and I slipped it on her finger.
Was it by any chance the third finger of her left hand?
Yeah, it was. And then I kissed her.
You did, huh?
Yeah, there was still some icing left on her lips.
Now, Jethro, think hard. Try to recollect everything you said to her on the day you put the ring on her finger.
Okay, well, let me think.
Did you ask her to wait for you?
Yep, that's exactly what I said. I said, Llewellyn, you wait for me.
You recollect anything else you said?
Well, when we got to her house, I said, sweetheart, I says, someday you and me is going to share everything together.
Jethro, it looks to me like you was facing a wedding.
I am?
Yeah, well, figure it out for yourself. You put a ring on her engagement finger. You kissed her. You asked her to wait for you, and you said someday you and her was going to share everything.
Yeah, well, when I said share everything, I meant everything in her lunchbox, not just the cupcakes.
Maybe that's what you meant, but I don't think that's the way she took it. Boy, you was just a handful of rice away from being a married man.
Jed, I can't marry no little old hillbilly girl like Lou Ellen Aiden.
Why not?
Because I'm a sophisticated playboy, a member of the international jet set. Why, if I was to walk into that palace in Monaco with that little old hayseed, why, Princess Grace and Prince Reindeer would throw me out.
Well, don't go to see Princess Grace and Prince Reindeer.
Well, Jed, ask me to give up polo. Ask me to give up skiing in the Alps. But don't ask me to give up my friends.
Did you all figure out what Llewellyn meant by that telegram?
Yeah, Granny. Appears like she's coming out here to marry Jethro.
She's got to find me first.
Jed, he left without eating.
No question about it, the boy panicked.
Well, let's sit down and eat. If we share Jethro's breakfast, we'll still have enough left over for lunch and supper.
Rusty, please. I'm having enough trouble trying to learn typewriting without you grabbing for the keys.
Well, Ellie, time to head for the bank and your first day as a working girl.
Miss Jane, I'm afraid I'll never learn to type as good as you.
Oh, don't let that concern you. There are other things you can do.
Well, I'll try the best I know how.
Your very presence among us will ensure the rest of us girls decent treatment from old Grump Grub.
Who?
Mr. Drysdale.
Bye, Rusty. Bye, world. See y'all after work.
Ellie, are that cat and that rooster compatible?
Oh, no. They gets along just fine.
Oh, no. Good. Good. Jane Hathaway here. Oh, hello, Mr. Clampett.
Miss Jane, I sure do hate to bother you, but there's a friend of ours arriving at the airport directly, and Jethro ain't around to meet her.
Well, suppose Ellie and I meet her.
That'd be dandy. I'm sure Ellie'd recognize her. They was youngins together.
Llewellyn Aiden, flight number 5 from Monroe, Louisiana, 9:30 a.m. We'll be there.
I sure do appreciate it. I'll call Mr. Drysdale and tell him you'll be late. Bye.
Bye.
Jed, me and old Duke has searched this place from the front gate to the root cellar.
No sign of Jethro?
Not a hide nor hair. And the truck is gone, too. But he left this note.
What's it say?
It says he ain't gonna marry no freckle-faced, barefoot hick. And he ain't coming home until she's gone.
This is gonna be a mite awkward to explain to Llewellyn.
You call her up and tell her not to come.
Too late for that now, Granny. Miss Jane and Ellie Mae is on the way to the airport to meet her now.
Jed, maybe you can't hold a boy to an engagement made when he was in the 2nd grade.
I wouldn't count on it, Granny. Jethro was 14 at the time.
Well, Llewellyn, what do you think of the club at home?
I declare, it's as big as the Capitol building in Baton Rouge.
Yes, it's quite imposing.
I thought you was fetching home little Llewellyn. Where is she?
I'm Llewellyn.
No.
Yes'm, Granny. This is her.
Well, welcome to California, Llewellyn.
Thank you, sir.
Land sakes, child. What's happened to your pigtails and your freckles? Hey, look, Jed. She's wearing shoes.
Of course she is, Granny. She's a grown-up girl now.
I can't get over how she's changed.
I kind of like it myself.
Well, come on inside, everybody. I've got some fresh coffee and sassafras tea brewed.
Oh, thanks, Granny, but I think Ellie and I better get to the bank as quickly as possible.
Good luck with your new job, Ellie Mae.
Oh, thank you, Llewellyn. See you later.
I'll tote your things upstairs, Llewellyn.
I really didn't intend to move in on you like this, but Ellie insisted you'd want me to.
And she was right, honey.
She was, for a fact. We're proud to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Would you like to come out to the kitchen and have a cup of coffee or some tea?
Yes, I'd like that. Is Jethro here?
No. I was afraid you was going to ask that. You better come over and sit down, honey. I got some bad news for you.
Has something happened to Jethro?
Oh, no. He's the same as ever. Of course, in a way. I guess that's bad news right there. Well, Ellen, we knows why you come to California.
Oh, good. I didn't explain too much in my telegram.
You didn't have to. We put 2 and 2 together. Llewellyn, we knows that you and Jethro was quite close as young'uns back home.
Yes, ma'am. He used to carry my books to school every day.
And he was quite sweet on you, too, wasn't he?
Yes, ma'am. He carved a heart in the tree in front of my house. And inside the heart he carved, Jethro loves C.C.
C.C.?
Cupcake. That was his pet name for me.
What are you girls talking about?
I'm trying to tell Llewellyn the bad news about Jethro.
Well, I think the easiest way is just to come right out and say it.
Suppose you do it.
All right. Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clampett?
I see you're still wearing that horseshoe nail ring Jethro gave you.
Yes. He's the only boy I've ever let put a ring on my finger.
Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clampett?
did you have a nice trip out here from Louisiana?
Just wonderful.
Did you hear that, Granny? She had a wonderful trip out from Louisiana.
Get to the point, Jed.
Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clampett?
you sure did turn out pretty.
Thank you, sir.
Jed.
All right, Granny, all right. I'm coming to it. Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clampett?
you recollect the day Jethro put that ring on your finger?
Yes, I do.
You recollect him kissing you?
I do.
You recollect him asking you to wait for him?
I do.
You recollect him saying that one day you would share everything?
I do.
I don't know. I wish you'd stop saying I do. You're making me awful nervous.
Me too.
What are you nervous about?
Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clampett?
how's your family?
I can't stand any more of this. Now are you gonna tell her that Jethro has jilted her, or am I?
Granny, I think you just did. But I'll share the burden. Llewellyn, Jethro don't want to marry you.
I'm glad to hear that, because I certainly don't want to marry him.
You don't want to marry Jethro?
No, indeed. He's a nice boy, but the girl who marries him will spend the rest of her life in the kitchen.
Well, speaking of kitchen, why don't we all go out there and get us something to eat?
In that telegram that you sent us saying that you was coming to California to take the big step, if it ain't marriage, what is it?
Show business. I hope to be an actress.
Did you hear that, Jed? She don't want Jethro. She wants to act. Ain't that wonderful?
It is for a fact. And Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clampett?
if you're as smart about acting as you are about men, you got it made.
Oh, good morning, Chief. I'm sorry I'm a little late.
A little late? You are 1 hour and 30 minutes late.
Well, didn't Mr. Clampett call you?
So what? Do you think a phone call from Jed Clampett is going to change the rules of this bank? Do you think the mention of his name is going to get you off the hook? Well, if that's the way you think, young lady, you are absolutely right. I adore every member of that Clampett family. They're the most wonderful people in the world. Ellie, I didn't see you. Oh, you look so beautiful. What brings you here?
Well, I work here now, Mr. Drysdale. This here's my first day.
Oh, so it is, so it is. I forgot. Well, welcome aboard. How are things going?
Oh, just fine.
Oh, wonderful. Now you can take the rest of the day off.
Well, I just got here.
Have you had breakfast?
Oh, no, sir, we didn't have time.
Well, come with me and I'll buy you the best breakfast you have ever had.
Oh, thank you. Come on, Miss Jane.
No, Ellie, dear. Miss Hathaway must stay and catch up on her work.
Well, I'll stay and help her.
Oh, aren't you hungry?
Oh, yes, sir, I sure am. So is Miss Jane.
Who are you calling?
My pa. He won't let us go hungry. He'll fetch us something to eat. Howdy, Pa. This here's Ellie.
Hello, Mr. Clampett. This is your friendly banker. Oh, I'm so delighted to have your beautiful daughter as an employee. I'm going to celebrate my good luck by taking her and Miss Hathaway to breakfast. Goodbye. Ah, come, lovely ladies. This is on me. Bon appetit.
Oh, Ellie Mae, I can't tell you what a joy it is to have you working here.
I'll help with the dishes.
You'll do no such thing. You're here to get into the show business. And movie stars don't wash dishes.
I'm a long way from being a movie star, Granny.
Seems to me you're on the way, Llewellyn. You won a beauty contest at that big television station.
Yeah. Station
KNOE-TV in Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah.
That ought to get you in pictures right there.
I'm afraid it takes more than that to open the doors to a movie studio.
Jed, I'll bet you Mr. Drysdale could help her.
He could for a fact. He's a banker, Llewellyn. He does what you call finances a lot of pictures.
Oh, I'd love to meet him.
Well, no sooner said than done. I'll take you right down there and introduce you.
Oh, wonderful. Just let me change my dress and put on a new face.
You can change your dress, honey. But if I was you, I'd keep that face.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Hello, Jed Clampett speaking. Oh, hello, Jethro. Yeah, Llewellyn's right here.
Can I speak to him?
Hold on, Llewellyn wants to talk to you.
Hi, Jethro. Hello? Hello? He hung up.
Well, he probably thinks you're still out here to marry him.
Now, you two skedaddle on down to the bank. And you bring Ellie Mae and Miss Jane and Mr. Drysdale home for supper.
We'll do it, Granny.
Good.
Who do you think you are, Arnold the pig? How can you eat so much and stay so skinny?
But Chief, all I had were 2 poached eggs.
You didn't poach them. I had to pay for them.
Oh, Chief, really?
And did you have to order ham? Don't you realize you violated a religious law by eating ham?
I am not of that faith.
Join it. That stuff's expensive. Hold it, Hathaway. I'm not through with you.
What now?
Now, you take that dumb hillbilly blonde to the secretarial pool and teach her how to type.
But you said that wasn't important.
That's what I said to her. To you, I'm saying if she doesn't type by tonight, her salary's coming out of your salary. And one other thing. If this maple syrup stain doesn't come out of this suit, you're going to have to pay the cleaning bill.
Well, that wasn't my fault. You flew into a rage when the waitress gave you the check.
You could have grabbed it.
Well, I wish I had. It would have prevented an ugly scene.
Out!
Miss Jane? Ellie Mae? They must be out on what you call a coffee break. We go in and talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Mr. Clampett, do you really think he can get me a job in movies?
A girl as sweet and pretty as you, it's a lead pipe cinch. Come on. Mr. Drysdale? He appears to be out, too. You sit down here and make yourself comfortable. I'll go see can I find him.
What are you doing here?
Oh, you scared me.
Big deal. Who are you?
I'm Llewellyn Aiden from down in Monroe, Louisiana. Are you Mr. Drysdale?
So what if I am?
I was told you could help me get a job.
Can you type?
No, sir.
Can you take dictation?
No, sir.
Know anything about bookkeeping or accounting?
No, sir.
Can you program a computer?
No, sir.
Can you foreclose a mortgage?
No, sir.
Can you get a maple syrup stain out of my jacket?
No, sir.
You're just what I need. Another dumb hillbilly blonde, not a brain in your head. Now, why don't you go back to Louisiana, throw yourself in a bayou, and feed yourself to the alligators? Go ahead, cry. Blow your head off. See what it gets you.
Well, darling, what happened? How come you to be crying like this? Didn't you tell Mr. Drysdale you come out here to be an actress?
She didn't have to tell me, Mr. Clampett. But the moment I saw her, I knew she was a born actress. So immediately, I started to test her. I did the famous shouting scene from The Bride of Frankenstein. And she passed the test with flying colors. Oh, look at those tears. Garbo couldn't shed them any better. This girl is a natural, one of the most gifted actresses of our time. I predict stardom for this lovely, talented young lady.
Well, doggy, did you hear that, Llewellyn? I told you Mr. Drysdale could help you.
Help her? I will dedicate myself to her career. Llewellyn, my dear, who would you like to do your screen test with? Paul Newman? Steve McQueen?
Whoever you think is best, Mr. Drysdale. What studio do you figure she ought to work for?
Let them compete for her services. Let them bid against one another. An actress like Llewellyn Aden comes along once in a lifetime.
We leave everything to you, Mr. Drysdale. Now I think I'd best get this little girl home. She's plumb wore out from all the acting she's been doing.
This day will go down in motion picture history. For today, a star is born. The Academy Award is but one performance away.
We're obliged to you, Mr. Drysdale, and Llewellyn will thank you proper quick as she pulls herself together.
I know what you're capable of, Llewellyn. And mark my words, one of these nights, you'll be taking that famous fellow Oscar home with you.
Mr. Drysdale, I've known Llewellyn all her life, and she ain't that kind of girl. Well, Llewellyn, looks like you're on your way.
I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Shucks, if Mr. Drysdale done it. Ted Clampett speaking. Jethro? Yeah, she's still here.
Let me tell him the news.
Hold on, Llewellyn's got something to tell you.
Jethro, I'm ready to take that big step. Hello? Hello? He hung up